Oh, now I see it.
I'm damn sure. I stabbed myself in the finger today, so I'm wearing a Stormtrooper band-aid. I need to... I was going to work on that sketch cover, but I think I'm going to do that little death head first. But I need to pull up some sort of reference, because this is definitely the first time I've drawn this dude.
I prefer the Liam Sharp version, but I
Yeah,
know you're doing the old school one.
Death's Head 2 is so, like, heavy metal. I thought that's what he was going to
Heavy
say
metal, you say?
initially, too. Yeah, like, it's like an 80s metal album turned into a character. I'm going to be getting on with Rob Geronimo next Tuesday. Rob's on with him tomorrow, or Ryan's on with him tomorrow night. And then I will be the following week. It was like, I realized too, I know like nothing about the original Death's Head.
Can you see my screen right now?
I can see you.
Oh.
I can just go.
Is there a way just to show my screen? Like if for my video, just show my screen?
Go to share screen.
Uh-huh.
What screen are you trying to share? Like an application or?
Yeah, I was gonna draw on it on Clip Studio.
You have it open already?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you should be able to just go to share screen and pick whatever. Right, share screen, and then I think you pick application window.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Or I guess you could just do your entire screen. Just make sure you close your porn tabs.
Nope. Everybody gets to enjoy it.
Yeah, I guess do your entire screen and then switch over to the app.
Okay. Did that work?
Oh, I see a new box popped up. Add to stream. There you go.
Cool.
I see you, and I see you drawing.
Aw, I was hoping it would just replace me. All right, whatever.
I can do it with me in your drawing. Just me and you. I could always... I wonder if I still hear you if I remove you from it. Talk really quick.
Talking for Spencer.
Yeah, no, if I remove you, it doesn't work.
Oh, really?
I guess you could kill your camera if you don't want to be seen.
No, I was just hoping it would like replace it, then just have people watch me draw. But now they get best of both worlds.
Now they can watch you draw on full screen and we're really tiny while I figure out what the hell I'm going to do.
Well, I went to the wrong Spencer Desmond on YouTube.
Excellent.
I don't know what he is.
What's going on, Ara? I am looking at Death's Head right now. His mechanical body created by Lupix.
What he is. Okay. Now I can actually see the chat.
Looks so over the top. So yeah, he's got the sweet like battle armor, spikes and shit. I dig that. Does he always have that spike ball hand? That like mace hand? Because that shit's gnarly.
I remember as a kid, they had a preview of Death's Head 2 where he's holding the mangled head of Death's Head.
Yeah.
And it always confused me because I couldn't understand how his head actually fit together because I'd never seen it before.
The shape is so weird. Oh yeah, there we go. I don't know how good that comes in. That's the cover. It's like the second image on Google. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know enough about the character. Oh, that's sweet. Don't call him a bounty hunter. Oh, his arm's detachable. Okay, that's kick-ass. How did I not know that? I need to read some of these books. This guy looks so fucking ridiculous. I love it.
Okay, there we go. That's better. So have you been playing around with Clip Studio more?
Not much. I like spent like a half hour importing shit and didn't even make a dent in it. So I'm like, got a ways to go. And I think I'm probably going to just get the mobile version plan because I probably need to get a new tablet for my PC. I have like an old Wacom Bamboo.
Mm. Oh, and they even make those anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
I'm just setting up my page right now in Clip Studio.
Yeah, that's like all the shit I need to learn. I'm just setting up a little reference on the computer here. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man? Oh, no.
Ryan, you need to come on and tell us about Birds of Prey.
Nerds of Prey. There we go. Forgot to pull my eraser out. This weird ass head.
There we go.
His head always seems to be like set like lower on his body. that like hunchback look.
Have you seen Birds of Prey?
Oh yeah. I watched it with Beth like around the time it came out initially, and went into it pretty much expecting what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Not much surprises coming out of that one. Okay, so his face is like a big fucking triangle. I guess we'll do these first.
Should I give this guy a belly button ring? I think that would be funny.
Pure sex appeal. Hell yeah.
Should it be a dangler or a barbell? Did you see those pictures of Cuomo with his nipple rings?
No, that's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
It's great.
I gotta remember too. I'm doing my own version of this guy.
Yeah, now he's life head.
Yeah. He found Jesus.
Just handing out watchtowers, everybody.
I like the like big old school eyes though. Those can stay. Yeah, I was like it's he's like a cool character kind of cuz he's like a like kitchen sink sort of dude, but he also looks like it was one of those characters where it was like we need a fucking character like this weekend. And you need to draw the book this weekend.
He's like,
Like,
all right, space warthog guy.
yeah. I need a guy who looks cool but is basically just a bunch of fucking shapes. Like,
What is Death Head's story like? Did he start out in another comic, or was he like
I don't
started out his
know.
own?
I was like started to read some of his stuff and then I found a good like at least reference picture to build off of and was like, time to get going. I want to draw. Stopped reading. I don't know enough about him. I know he doesn't take himself as seriously as the second version.
Yeah, the second version is like all extreme '90s and stuff, right?
Yeah. Kind of trying to capture that in his look too, like make him look cool but also make him look like he's like kind of a fun guy.
He looks cool, but he also like brings buffalo wings when he comes over to visit.
Yeah. Think Like, man, if this was digital, I could just drag this up.
Now, the interesting thoughts about drawing a man's crotch is he clipped or unclipped?
Who do you believe in? Show us your dick.
Oh, he's one of the chosen ones.
That's the Crusades in a nutshell. That's my next book. It's just like Knights Templar going around and seeing if you got the cut or not.
Sir looks at dicks a lot.
The name's pure coincidence. What's up, Institute? Blocking in shapes. I definitely didn't do his cheeks, right? They go like right into his eyes. But I kind of... I can save this.
Get a little pee stain going on.
Yeah, of course.
There's always dribble.
Okay. Oh, Ryan actually jumped in.
Oh, is he in the waiting room?
My bad, dude. You were just covered by my reference sheet,
I was doing that on purpose.
so I didn't see you backstage.
Can you hear me okay?
On the moon.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd Geoff say?
I thought you sound like you're on the moon.
I'm trying out different headphones. I was like, let me see if this works, because I'm doing stuff around the house. So I was like, I'll see if this works.
I mean, we can hear you fine.
On the moon, does that mean I'm robotic or just distant?
Distant.
Yeah, you definitely sound like you're walking around in an open room.
Let me, I'm going to try to work on that.
Oh, it's all good, dude.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
All right, then. Screw you guys. I'm not working on anything.
Perfect.
So what are you drawing, Geoff?
Oh,
I mean, I know what you're drawing, but what's it for?
This is just personal. Yeah. I just like crotches. They're the eyes to the soul.
The Saw Hall.
Now, this is a scene from City of Rot with some bad bikers doing bad things.
Okay, cool.
The scene we can't mention on YouTube or we'll get straight.
It's just it's panels like this that always make me laugh, because it's when you're a kid, you're not thinking like, someday I have to draw a crotch with stained underwear as well as I draw Superman's face. You never think about that kind of stuff. That you're like, and you do your draftsmanship is so nice, and your style is so complete that you're very consistent in your work.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I studied crotches for many years.
Well, that's good then. It's paying off big time.
You know, they always say, do what you love. You never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah, I understand the working title is City of Crotch.
Yeah.
but too many letters in the title, so you knocked out a few, and it's City of Rot.
I knew you were too quick with Sir Dicks a lot. Or looks at dicks a lot. It's a family name.
I did hear that. I was listening during that part. That was pretty funny. That somebody had that job in the Crusade. That's still cracking me up. It's like, oh man, you drew the short stick, so you get to look at the short sticks.
Just remember, it's for God. I don't know if I'm doing this any justice or not, but I hope so. I hope this death's head finds you well.
Is that a commission?
It is for. I mean, I can talk about it. I don't know why I'm being all secretive about it. It's for Ashen Jackal. He was actually the first random winner of the Void Walker prize pack for signing up for the City of Rot pre-launch. So
that's awesome.
I was doing a little sketch to throw in with it on top of it, just because he already owns a shitload of copies of Voidwalker, just because he's a huge supporter of us and Alterna in general. So I was like, well, he's getting the copies of Voidwalker all signed and everything, which I don't think he has any signed ones, but I know he already has a bunch of regular copies, so it's like, I'll send him something extra. And I hit him up and was like, hey, you were the winner. Who's your favorite character? And he was like, Death's Head. The original, though. And I was like, of course a guy I've never drawn before.
Jim Starlin's just smiling somewhere. I got one.
Yeah, that's always fun and awkward at conventions when, like, at least you're at home right now, so you're like, oh, okay, so I've never drawn this character, but I got all the reference and I'm in a comfortable place. But it always sucks in a fun way, but at a con when someone's like, all right, I want Thor, and you're like, cool, and they're like, I want the movie version from Ragnarok in his armor in the thing, and you're like, oh, all right, well, I mean, I know what regular Thor looks like, and I know what he looks like in the movie, kind of, but you don't. Those costumes, you have to look at reference for the movie costumes. It's ridiculous.
And that's all anybody wants anymore. I just want you to draw me Chris Hemsworth hanging out.
I did get one. I don't have a picture of it that I could find. I was looking for it because I did get one Fat Thor request once.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was fun. Even though I wasn't, it was funny, but to me, in the actual movie, I was kind of like, oh, this is all right. Like, it didn't really do much for me, other than get like a little chuckle out of me. But it was fun it was a fun commission.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really like Fat Thor.
I felt represented finally. if we're being honest, as a fat, large Norseman.
All right. Well, I don't want to take that away from you. You know,
I was like, wow, Thor's living my dream. He just games all day and gets blasted drunk.
The dude with the I can't say his name right now. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
He's
Mjolnir. Yes.
I thought you were saying straight up like the dude for a second, because it's like that's basically who he is in that movie. Like,
that's what I meant. He's the dude, but with this giant hammer.
That makes perfect sense.
But I'm no fun about any of the movies. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I saw it. It was a movie.
Yeah, I was like that real early on because I worked at a theater when the first fucking Avengers came out, and I was just like, fuck this movie.
Oh, you didn't like the first Avengers?
That broke like all sorts of records, dude, and I didn't even give a fuck if the movie was good by the time I was done working it.
Oh yeah, saturation like that, especially being at that theater, you probably never want to see the Avengers logo again.
Yeah, and then just the way fucking people are with those movies, it was fucking miserable.
I'm really curious how everything's gonna be now that Infinity War's over, and it had such like a finale kind of feeling to it. Like, are people still gonna be excited for the next Marvel movie or the next like big event with the Marvel movies, or are they kind of gonna be dipping out?
Yes, because people are fucking very predictable.
Yeah, it'll be curious because especially with everything that's going on with all the COVID nonsense and stuff. So it's got that thrown into the mix now. So it's like, were people going to be more disinterested? Maybe, but now people are going to be less interested in going into the movies in general, So that's going to change stuff. And then you got Batman's getting sick on set and halting
Yeah, I heard about that.
production. So it was like, maybe you shouldn't run your previews until you know if your actor's going to live through the production or not.
Wait, Pattinson got sick?
Yeah, he got COVID.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
That damn Riddler.
Yeah, really. It's
If only
real
he had
life.
worked out a little bit and gotten his immune system up.
Well, it's because they want Batman to, have representation. So they're like, hey, there's 150,000 COVID people now, so we should bring that into the movies.
Yes.
No,
Really?
but he'll probably be fine. I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
He'll probably be fine.
I don't know. I should say that, but everyone in my family that got it was like, man, it was a bummer I couldn't taste food for a day. So it's like, I'm like, that's it. Which I know it's totally different for everyone. I'm just making jokes here because we're making jokes. But that really was it. Like my family, like they're the extent of the 3 people that tested positive for it. They were like, I don't know. I think I have it. And
Yeah,
they were
Mike.
like, yeah, you have it. And then they just
Mike got
quarantined
it, and he was like, dude, I was just tired for like a week. It's like, wow, dude, that's intense. He was like, yeah, that was it.
No, but some people, I mean, obviously some people die from it, but some people trip super hard.
Oh,
their
yeah.
fevers gets crazy, I was just worried because it was so close with my mom and stuff, and she's a super old lady. But
a super old lady.
She's also tough as nails. She's like, I don't know, 70 something, and she was up until a couple of years ago. She was still teaching jujitsu. So.
Oh wow.
Like.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, she was like, I think I got it. She's like, and then she called later. She's like, I got it. And then like 3 days later, she's like, I don't know, it's not that bad.
Well, they came out with that thing that it was basically like almost everybody that actually died from it had like horrible pre-existing conditions, and it was just like, Jesus Christ, like.
Yeah, and that's why I was so worried about her, because she her lucky streak with things like years ago she got the flesh-eating bacteria, and like her and my stepdad got it, and they both were like basically in the hospital in comas for a few weeks, and so she was super freaked out. She like this whole thing. I love that
that's just like a passive thing, like just in a coma for a few weeks. Fuck it.
I don't know. Our family, like your family, there's so much crazy stuff. You're like, oh, that was episode 24 of season 17.
Yeah, you start to like lose track of what year shit happened, just because every year is crazy.
Did she get a staph infection from the mat or something?
Actually, it was a staph infection from the hospital for like a minor surgery thing that had happened.
That's and like the most common way.
Yeah, I think it started in my stepdad and then just like jumped to her.
Damn.
But yeah, that was crazy. It was like on Mother's Day too. Like I called her. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, well, the ambulance just arrived. I'm like, huh? She's like, I think I've got the flesh-eating bacteria. I'm like, oh, were you gonna call us? She was like, when I got to the hospital. I'm like, okay. Well, I guess I'll talk to you later, Mom. She's like,
Amazing. So does he have... Hang on. I gotta stop my camera for a second because I'm about to stare longingly into my computer screen.
So Ryan, does your mom teach jujitsu? Like, has she been teaching for a long time, or is it just something she started doing like, you know,
It
when she
was a
got older?
retirement project.
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke. It was. She's always been that way though. Like when I was a kid, um, 70s and 80s, she was a like pro amateur racquetball player, which I guess that was a thing back then.
Wow.
But she would play in the men's leagues. So she was always crazy competitive and super athletic. And yeah, it was kind of cool though. Like as a kid, you're like these guys would get so pissed when my mom would beat them. Oh man, they'd be throwing rackets and swearing and stuff. They'd be so
I'd
mad
get
that a
go to the
girl beat
Y
them.
and watch my mom just neuter a bunch of grown men.
It was so funny. Like and yeah, so she's always been like that. So it was like she's like did rodeo and horseback riding and all that. So like when the
Oh my
MMA
God.
stuff got popular, she was kind of like, I could do that. We were all like, whoa, you're like 60 something, mom. She's like, whatever. And then she did it. And I mean, obviously, you could take her and break her with one hand. She's a 77-year-old woman, but um, she understands it all really well, and she's good at the motion. So she was good at teaching kids, and that's where they utilized her. Because she could throw a 200-pound guy over her back until probably 4 years ago. Um, and then even they were like the sensei, and everyone was like, "Yeah, you might think you're tough, but nobody wants to be the person that is on top of you when your back crumbles to
Yeah.
dust." Like no one wants to be the one that like, oh, she's trying to prove something, and I'm the one that flattened her. So she kind of got nudged out of that, and probably better. She doesn't need to be
You get to beat up
literally
kids
breaking her
now.
bones. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I think that's all she liked. I think she just liked beating up kids. Like all hers had grown up. She's like, who am I gonna beat up now?
I'm going to join a gym where I can beat other people's kids.
Like Kramer.
Do you have children at this gym that need beating?
How bad? She's asking the parents, like, how bad was he this week? That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, parents using the jujitsu teacher as punishment for their kids. That's got to be happening somewhere.
Now, have you done jujitsu yourself?
No, I'm the only one in the family that didn't. My brother, my sister, everybody, my stepdad, they all did it. I was too busy especially during like the kind of craze that started it. At the time, I was just deadlines, just way too much work, and couldn't do anything fun.
Good
Yeah.
times.
I'm just broke.
But now the industry's over, so I can go do things.
Yeah, right? Now that comics are dead.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is kind of weird.
The discussion has all been really fucking crazy on Twitter too. Like it's almost sad now seeing all these people like realize that things aren't going back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've known it was coming for a while, and it's still like, oh, I'm bummed for you guys.
I used to get told I was like such a jerk for kind of speaking openly and honestly about this stuff, and this goes back like 5 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Where, because I basically left comics. Like, there's been 2 times I left comics, and the second time I did it, the last time I left after being at DC, it was because like you could see the writing on the wall unless you're being like blindly optimistic, which a lot of people are. And I was super optimistic for the longest time. Like I thought for sure that, and I've said this a million times on like Pete streams and stuff, but like I thought for sure that the Hollywood thing was going to change the comic book industry for the better.
Yeah.
Because when I had been at Top Cow, anytime anything good happened for Top Cow, something good happened for all of us. So when Wanted got picked up, we all got just a couple bucks, but we all got a couple bucks on our page rates increased, and we all got taken out to dinner. And then when the movie came out, we all got to go to the Paramount lot to watch it in a screening. And there was inkers and letterers, and like everyone was as important as the writers, and Mark, Silvestri, everyone down. It was all important. And like when the money for that came in, we got page rates increases again. And so I kind of thought, oh, that's so cool the way we can use the Hollywood side to help, like, bring us up to living wages on the comic book side. And so I thought for sure, like, I was like the businessman in my head was like, oh, so Marvel's probably going to even like, and this is early 2000s. I was like, Marvel's probably going to like franchise comic shops, so people can buy into owning a comic shop, and then every city will have a comic shop because Marvel's going to want these things everywhere. And then no, it was like kind of the opposite.
Marvel's gonna sell to Disney and not give a fuck.
Yeah, and page rates kept decreasing, and royalty and opportunities like that kept decreasing for inkers, colors, and letters. They kept just like pulling these things back. So it became real apparent to me a long time ago that this wasn't, at least as an inker, this wasn't a viable career to until I'm 60. So it was like get out before I'm 40, because it's kind of a young man's game, especially inking. It's so physically demanding. As someone who does everything involved in comics, nothing is as physically demanding as inking. And if that's all you're doing, like I don't know, it's definitely a young man's game. You get over 40, you don't want to just be digging holes. You want to kind of be deciding where the holes get dug.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the Disney thing.
Go ahead, Geoff. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I was just wrapping. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought the whole Disney buying Marvel was going to be a good thing, just because Marvel seemed to be kind of, going down the wrong path, and they weren't, really innovating at the time. So I thought, okay, Disney, they're business first, and they were going to really kind of, tighten everything down, and I don't know, just like establish some kind of like decorum or something. And it just seems like everything got worse. And I don't know if it's just that Disney doesn't care about the comic part, so they don't, like they just let them do whatever they want. But it just baffles me that like,
yeah, because Disney's model is that they're going to make money no matter what on the movies overseas.
Right. But like, the movies were gigantic, and all the characters were becoming super popular. And then you go to the comic store, and Captain America is not Captain America anymore, and Thor is not Thor anymore, and Iron Man's not Iron Man anymore. So it's just like, this seems like the worst business idea ever. To have to take your now beloved characters in the mainstream and replace them in the comics, which is where you're trying to bring in new fans and old fans, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, what the hell are they doing?
I think it's honestly still like the comics are like a loss leader sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't still be doing it if there wasn't some sort of financial angle to it.
Yeah. But do you think that DC will end up, Warner Brothers will end up selling the DC stuff or outsourcing the comics? That's a rumor going around.
Wouldn't be surprised at this point. Like, everything is fucking up in the air. Go
ahead, sorry.
That's why I think so many people are panicking, is for the first time in a long time, I don't think any of these people even working at the big companies know what the fuck's going to happen next.
Yeah, the people I feel worse for are my friends that work for DC corporate, like in marketing and advertisement and graphic design, like the normal 9-to-5ers that are there. Because like it sucks. They're all kicking ass, and they're subject to creative people's like either whims on Twitter that drive down sales, or bad creative decisions that don't create a sequel, or whatever's happening. Like, so those are the ones I feel the worst for.
Yeah.
In all this.
They're literally just there doing their job.
Yeah, because I have friends that, like, they weren't even artist friends necessarily. They're just people I knew in high school and stuff, and then they've ended up there, like, coincidentally, just because we're in Southern California. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. The interesting thing about DC is that they're actively working on stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it keeps surprising people and throwing people off. And even though most of the stuff, I shouldn't even say much, I should say all. I'll say most just to pretend to be fair. Like, most of the stuff was actually good. Even though people are like, oh, they did this or they did that. Like, they were all fairly good decisions that actually weren't hurting people in the way that we were being told that they were hurting. By switching away from Diamond and stuff, like, that was only actually hurting Diamond.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
that, like, things like that. So it's like they've got people working, and that's probably got people, I don't know, upset too, that, like, DC's actually doing stuff. So whether you like it or not, they're actually doing stuff. Where Marvel seems to just kind of be like, all right, well, we're out here floating without wind and no engines.
Yeah, they're like waiting to die.
Hey, Chief, should we put these oars to water? No, hold off on that. I don't think so.
We don't want to waste our good energy.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know what? They probably lost their oars throwing them at their fans, and that's how they ended up in the windless. I don't know if you've ever been on a boat where there's no wind and you have no ocean, or no engine.
No.
It's
no ocean.
When you have no ocean, it's the worst.
I don't know if you've ever been in a boat in someone's backyard.
There's your first problem, Ryan.
One of the next creepiest parts to no ocean is no wind and no engine, and just floating on dead water, and just being like, "There's nothing we can do."
How quickly you're like, we're dead already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't recommend boating.
I forgot my camera was turned off. So we got that guy.
There you go. Nice.
Going for now.
Is that going to get ink and color?
Oh, yeah. Of course. I'll probably watercolor it next and then ink over that. It's easy to do with him, though. He's mostly just blue and yellow.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That takes me back. I was super young when I first saw him, and it was like one of the first Marvel UK books I ever saw. And I saw his face, and I was just like, "What? Where has this been my entire life?"
He's fucking so ridiculous looking. It's great. I need to find... what can I use for this?
Institute 91 said Joe Rogan enters the chat when he heard the jiu-jitsu talk.
Sir Phallus Gazer.
That's the winner.
Here we go.
Rogi's in Texas now.
Oh, he made it there officially?
Yeah, he was showing his gym off and stuff.
This is my DMT room.
I'd do that with him.
Just with him?
Yeah.
You won't do DMT with me, Geoff?
Hell no. I just put you on blast for getting a mullet. I don't trust what you'll do to me now.
The first time we meet, smoke this.
Right off the plane.
I fucking training day you. I show up in a do-rag. You just got wet. I hope you brought a towel. We hit 100K. I'm gonna get Geoff dusted.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
we stream me dosing Geoff with PCP.
Oh my god. So, do you guys watch or listen to Legion of Skanks?
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Oh god.
Do
I
you
do
know?
every once in a while. I'm not like super familiar with their stuff.
Oh man, so you're caught up then, Geoff, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, so I could probably tell this in like 1 minute, just really quick for you, Spencer. So,
Oh yeah.
you heard about, what was it, like a year ago or so, maybe even more now? Ari Shaffir dosed Bert Kreischer with Molly.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the Legion of Skanks are doing their presidential campaign for the president of the Skanks, and they were having, I think, was it election night? Was it the night of, Geoff?
Yeah, it was the election night.
It was their actual election night. So everyone's watching live, and you see Ari Shaffir for about 10 minutes just staring at the lights and looking at things and not talking. And I was wondering what was going on. And then finally people start commenting about how he looked like he was tripping. And so Luis J. Gomez starts cracking up about how he dosed Ari with LSD at the event. Like they put LSD in his beer. And it was like, haha, to get you back for Bert Kreischer and also just to cause mayhem for the show. And so then Ari
Wild card.
I watching this live, it blew my freaking mind to just see this happen. All of a sudden Ari drops to a straight face and reveals that he knew about the dosing and had slipped his beer over to Big J Okerson, who had consumed at least half of the beer already.
Oh my god.
It was incredible.
And he was
it was horrible
too.
too. I mean, horrible, but incredible to watch.
It was so good.
We had a buddy right out of high school, my roommate Iggy, who the week of his birthday he called Dose Week, and he would buy acid and give it to all of us to just dose him at random times throughout the week. And he would just go about his week like normal. And we would just slip the shit in like whenever and just like not say anything and go about business. And one of our buddies, Corey, was like, wow, that's a really cool idea. So we just dosed Corey at the same time. Wasn't physically the one to do it, but I was an accessory being there and laughing. But yeah, Corey was like, that's a really cool, like, hilarious idea. So we were like, that was Corey telling us to dose him. That
There's
became
a fun
like
movie in that.
a really common theme among our group of friends for a short period of time. When our buddy Iggy could get really good acid. A different time in my life.
Oh, I hear ya. It's been, man, probably 7 or 8 years since I did any hallucinogen.
Right? I thought you were going to say weeks. No.
No.
Hours.
No.
It's been like 4 minutes.
No, I guess it's only been 6. It's only been 6 because that's it's not due to me being a mature fellow or anything. It's that my guy moved to Asia. So.
What a bastard.
And now he made COVID.
Yeah, that was his next big thing. It's like, thanks.
Cool. Believe me, you'll be hearing about me real soon.
I got big plans.
I got this stuff that's going to make the world trip.
No, he went and figured out that he could live in Thailand in a really nice area for like $50 American a month.
Oh, damn.
And so he was like, he's just a kind of free-flowing artist, painter dude, and teacher. And he was like, I'm just gonna go out there. He was gonna go for 6 months. Gave me his entire studio to store in my garage for 6 months. I was like, all right, that's it. 6 months. Now it's been 6 years.
So Ryan did all his acid.
I dug through all the boxes looking for some, but
I was like, isn't that one of those places where they just like shoot drug dealers on site?
I think where he is actually just so remote that no one cares. But he doesn't do any of that stuff now.
Yeah.
He's so just living in the moment, man.
Sucking the day's dick.
I knew a guy that went to Thailand to do Tiger Muay Thai training, and he said, was Shevchenko there? I think there were a few fighters. I don't remember who was there, but he was talking about. I mean, and he was the kind of guy like when you saw him, you wouldn't ever suspect. He was like just a tall, lanky guy, and then he told me that. I was like, holy shit, you can kick everybody's ass in this room, and people were like joking with him about stuff and like, acting like, oh, I can take you down. I was like, dude, he trained in Tiger Muay Thai. Like, he'll kick your legs out from underneath of you.
These guys just like whip each other with sticks all day.
Like, he did Kumite.
He knows the splits, man.
He's Tong Po now.
I don't know. How about you, Geoff? Did you do any MMA or martial arts?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, did I do drugs? I was like, well, no.
Oh no, that's more. That was more
How
on
about
top.
you, Geoff? You fucking love psychedelics.
No, I probably wouldn't ask that openly yet, Geoff. I'd ask Spencer or anything like that, but I'm still getting to know you, so I wouldn't put you on the spot like that about drugs.
No, it's all good. No, I just did jujitsu when I was in college. They had it was actually a course we could take for like a physical education credit. So it was really cool because it was like a basic training essentially. Like the teachers gave us like something for everything. So he's like, okay, I'll show you how to do like 3 different takedowns and then 3 defenses for takedowns, and then I'll show you, stuff from guard, stuff from your back, side control, and all the different variations of it. So we got this kind of like overall training in it. So not expert by any means, but it was like, okay, if I were to go into a jiu-jitsu class now, I would at least have an idea of what I'm doing. So that was really cool. And jiu-jitsu is like, once you figure out like how to actually pull off the submissions, like Kimura and stuff, you start to see like, oh, now I know how to do it, so I can do it from a totally different position just because I know how the arm's supposed to move, So like when we would roll, I would be on my back and I would see like, we learned the Kimura from side control. But then once I got my back, I was like, oh, I know how to do it. All I got to do is just kind of hold his arm a certain way so that I can elevate his wrist, and it's the exact same thing, like it's just kind of cool the way that like once you learn the little techniques of it all, you can then apply it in more creative ways beyond what you were taught. So I would love to go back and learn and do, actually have like real ongoing classes and stuff, but it's just been time and money that keeps getting in the way.
Yeah, I wish I had done some more now, even just to have the self-defense skills. Like I've learned a little bit of fighting here and there from like friends and family and stuff like that. And especially being an artist and an animator, I've at least I understand how how to throw a punch, and being in fights, you learn how to do that, and you learn what not to do. You mostly learn what not to do.
Punched
from real
in the
fights.
face a bunch, guys.
Yeah,
that's how you learn.
But yeah, I wish I had done more just for the physicality, and like I like disciplines. I like using art as a discipline and things like that. So it's like kind of like having guidelines that you have to follow and with goals in mind and things like that. So I like that aspect of it as well.
Yeah, I would love to learn just like classic boxing. Just because it's like jiu-jitsu teaches you all about grappling in like the most efficient way, and boxing is pretty much like the most efficient hand-to-hand actual striking system.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My old neighbor AJ, his father was as he would put it, the only N-word with red hair in Harlem in the 50s. And evidently that meant you had to fight for your life. And
I bet.
he was, it was like 40s or 50s, and he was a Golden Glove boxer and trained with, I think it was Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh,
And
wow.
he used to just like give me and AJ like boxing tips whenever he stopped by to see AJ. AJ was his son. And this guy was like ancient, but AJ was their youngest and was only like 4 or 5 years older than me. He's actually like a politician or something now locally, but yeah, his dad was like a badass grizzly old jerky man, and I used to come out on the porch at like 5-6 in the morning to smoke a cigarette before I headed into work, and that dude would just be like shadow boxing on the porch at like 90 years old.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Wild, but like talk about like old school boxing style, and he would tell you the craziest shit. He's like, you could knock out 10 men if you know what you're doing. Like, and he'd say the craziest shit all the time. He was a salty old black man, but he was just the coolest fucking guy.
He was probably still so strong too. Like those
Yeah.
guys, they get
Oh,
that
yeah,
stringy beef jerky muscles that like can't rip.
Yeah.
He passed away like the year I moved out of that place, and it was real sad because he was just such a. He was like, he stopped by all the time, and I think it was like their apartment originally, and then AJ moved in there as they were getting older, and they moved into a different place because it was like a condo place, and we were one of the only people that rented there. But such a fucking cool guy, and just had the craziest stories. I'm pretty sure it's Sugar Ray Leonard. Whatever boxer it was is AJ's fucking godfather. And it was like always like a big deal, and they used to like bust AJ's balls for not getting into boxing and like following in his father's footsteps. But his dad was like old jerky man with mashed potatoes for a brain from getting his head beaten in for years.
Mm-hmm.
He did live for fucking ever, though. I think he was like 92 when he died, and he looked like he had been dead for 10 years when I met him.
He just had to keep fighting death in boxing matches and winning.
Yeah, he's like
Get another year.
one of those dudes where like you're lowering the casket into the ground, and he's like, I ain't dead yet.
He has that Maniac
sleeping.
Cop 2 ending where he just busts through the thing.
I was just sleeping, god damn it.
You had no heartbeat.
You're right. For a week.
You don't need that.
We checked after the last time you pulled this.
All right, I'm gonna cook.
Had to bounce. Take it easy, dude. You're gonna cook? What fucking time is it out there?
5 to 10.
Oh. It's like
But I had a late start, and I'm shaving some chicken right now, and I'm gonna make a chopped chicken sandwich.
Shaving his chicken?
Yeah, I got a frozen piece of chicken that's lightly thawed, and I take a
brilliant
super sharp butcher knife, and I shave the chicken into thin slices.
We've got a professional on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's so good. And I'll throw a little togarashi seasoning and some salt and pepper on there. Did I use a hard R at the end? Should I say togarashi? Toga? You never know these days who you're going to offend. So. Yeah, I'm gonna. So should I stay on while I cook?
Oh yeah, you can, dude. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember,
It's that
this is
cooking
the
and comic
channel.
show we always wanted to do.
Yeah, this is the channel with no rules. Mukbang all night long.
Yeah. Are we gonna do that next? We gonna have a mukbang?
Yeah, dude. put that out into the ether. Me and Geoff are looking for a mukbang.
Somebody say you're right.
That's what we got to do when we meet. I gotta get you high on PCP, and then we do the fucking most demented mukbang ever.
My wife won't know. She's always like, I did PCP and then Spencer mukbanged me. Like, he did what?
She's totally cool with the PCP.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, skip that part. What the hell is a mukbang? Do we
Excuse
need
me?
to go to a rape counselor?
Oh my god.
Are you guys gonna get the Tyson Jones fight?
Oh fuck! I've totally like put that out of my brain.
Yeah,
Kevin.
I want to see it, but I haven't even. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to see it yet.
Well, there's a thing called Reddit.
Yeah, right. I legit haven't even been thinking about shit like all the movies I wanted to see and stuff. Just like have gone out of my brain. I know, like Beth doesn't even really like going out anywhere when the fucking world is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we always like hit up the drive-in and stuff like that. But our drive-in like been a successful drive-in for like fucking 70 years, never closed, just always been open. Like that's one of the few things here that's like, oh man, if we ever moved away, that'd be a big fucking bummer. Like, and now that the COVID shit's happening, our drive-in does like old movies all the time. Like I wanted to see Tenet. I don't really want to go to a fucking regular theater around here because I worked at the theater around here that is open right now, and it's really bummy. It's a fucking Cinemark. Although I was looking at their stocks the other day and they're like way down. I was like, do I buy back into the theater game again?
It almost wouldn't hurt to just dabble right now.
Yeah, I had that weird like just when I thought I was out moment.
Well, apparently the stock market's doing great.
Dude, my buddy Gabe used to do that with a bunch of film production companies and shit. He'd buy stocks like I think it was Lionsgate he did it with the Hunger Games movies and made a fuckload of money. Like he was just hoarding money for his paychecks, and then he would buy just like a couple stocks. I think it was Lionsgate. It was a film production company, and he was like somehow investing in them, and then the Hunger Games movies would come out. He would fucking make a ton of money and then just cash out on it. And he explained it to me. It was like through E-Trade or something. It was like one of the fucking like internet trading sites. I don't know if it was stocks exactly or what, but fucking he made so much money just investing in film companies like a couple of months before they'd have a huge release. Or he'd do it really early on when we would get the they had a specific name, but theaters get these basically like a call sheet from different production companies telling you the release date for movies like way before the public audience ever finds out. Like before trailers drop and stuff like that. And normally only the managers at the theaters are the ones who see it. And it's like it's like essentially under NDA. You're not supposed to talk about it. The regular employees don't see it and shit like that. But me and Gabe would just go look at it, and fucking Gabe would go and buy into a bunch of companies because he knew they'd have big movies coming out. Probably illegal in some way. Like, we do insider trading.
Now, do you think that the film industry is going to be back to normal once all this gets over, or do you think they're still going to be
that
hurting?
was the thing that had me like, I don't know about this.
Because I mean, I think maybe once it really, they kind of just declare like it's finally over. I think there will be like a big rush to get back to movies and stuff. There'll still be like people that are tentative, but I think overall they'll probably have some like really big nights, regardless of what they're putting out.
Oh yeah, and that's, I think, I know from my experience of working in theaters for so long, all it takes is like one good weekend for a fucking theater to be like rip roaring again. Like it doesn't take much.
I love going to the theater. It's the only thing I do outside of my house. Like
Yeah.
we so aside from the world being in chaos, I've been really bummed about not going to the theater because I was literally going 3 times a week. Like I would save up all my free time to go to the movies. So instead of sitting and watching a movie, I would just go to like a 10 or 11 o'clock screening of something. There's nobody there. Our theater has great seats, recliners, and it was like $20 a month for 3 movies a week for the pass.
Yeah, I remember you saying that a while ago.
Yeah, and it was the greatest thing ever. Like because the kid in me just loves going to the movies, and like when they upgraded them and gave us those passes, I was like, I'm gonna do this the rest of my life. And we got like a year into it, and they're like, COVID. I'm like, you mother,
life is over.
Because it's about me, of course. How
Right.
my life ruined by all of this.
Sons of bitches. You're really cramping Ryan's style.
That's what happened with Blockbuster for me, because Blockbuster, before they went under, they were doing the online rentals of movies.
Oh yeah,
and
you bought into that.
Yeah, because like you would get
Yep, me too.
three movies sent to your house at one time, then you could return them to the store and get free movies with your return.
Yep.
So I was watching
rad.
I was watching like 10 movies a week or something. And then they went under, and I was like, motherfucker, I can't watch nothing now.
What pissed me off about that is I used to hate Blockbuster because I think I'm just old enough, I'm just old enough from you guys that, I don't know, were you guys going to regular mom and pop video stores?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was
video.
that was like my favorite thing. Ours was Video Empire. It was this locally owned one that was just super awesome. You go
Video
in there and the guys
Galaxy.
Ooh.
Yeah, those places. And you'd walk in there. I bet Spencer, you'd walk in and the guy would be like, "Oh, here's that kid that loves horror." And
yep.
If there was something new, here's the new Friday the 13th, or here's something. So I loved all that. So I hated that Blockbuster came in and chased all the mom and pop places away. So I refused. I was like, no way, I'm not doing anything with Blockbuster. And then I finally gave in and was doing the deal you were talking about, Geoff, which was just killer. It was just awesome. And then I was going in and getting to know the people at the local Blockbuster for a few years, and that was awesome. It was kind of like going to the comic shop. Like they were film students and stuff, so it was kind of fun to talk to. And then they closed, and I was like, you can't chase all the mom and pop shops away and then go out of business. Motherfucker.
Yeah, I used
Movies
to go.
will break your heart.
We used to have Dollar Video, and that was run by a Korean family, and they couldn't speak any English, so you couldn't talk to them about movies or anything. But it was great for me as a kid.
Excellent.
Because I could get whatever movies I want, and they didn't really know what the movie was, so they would just rent it out to me. So I got all these weird Japanese movies that are full of nudity and violence. They just had no idea.
That's awesome. I had to go to comic conventions at hotel ballrooms to be able to see anything like that.
Yeah, I saw a Japanese movie.
I have a really dumb dad, so I got to just see shit like that. Shout out to my dad.
I saw a Japanese movie once, and I got it just because it was like a ninja cover. And I was like, okay, cool, ninjas, I like that. And then the movie was like a weird, Japanese. It wasn't porno, because it wasn't real sex going on.
It was softcore porno.
It was weird. It was like the villain had a Mr. Fantastic style dick,
Oh, cool.
and it would just stretch out and it would wrap around the other people and suffocate them like an anaconda.
It was a scientist?
So it's like zombie ass.
It was just a really smart penis.
Yeah. It had gray sideburns.
His penis cared about his family.
I
Family
feel
is
like
the heart of this penis.
I feel
Why
like
are
I
all
saw
our
a
shows
clip
about
from
penis?
that. Because you're perverts.
Right? His best
You're
friend's like a
demented
penis, but
perverts.
it's covered in rocks.
Did you guys ever see the French film The Marquis? With puppets?
No.
It was something a friend of mine found in high school. And it was like high production quality, like Henson level puppetry about the like Marquis de Sade and like
I was going to
being
say about
locked.
the Marquis de Sade.
Yeah, being locked in the tower. And like, so the people are all these grotesque Henson like Muppets. But then one of the characters, like his penis is the character, but it's like a puppet. And he like builds a little stage for it in his prison
I
cell.
feel like I've seen parts of this.
It's been 25 years since I saw it, or probably 20 years since I even remembered it. Like just talking with you guys.
I feel like it was on IFC or something like wicked late at night one night.
So bizarre. But like we didn't even watch it like because like in high school you find the porn, you find something and everyone's like, ooh, kind of like watching this thing. It wasn't even like that. We were mostly watching it like, I can't believe this was made. Like, what is this thing?
What was it? Is it Last Tango in Paris with Brando?
I believe so, yeah.
Is that what it's called? Where he gets the stick of butter rammed in his ass?
Oh god, that's right.
That was the first like instance of that happening to me, and I want to say it was like 6th grade. We had a buddy come into school, and he was like, "Guys, last night I saw a porno." And at this point, I think it was 6th grade, so I'm like, what, like 10 at that point, 11, something like that.
I think
I don't
12.
know.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't work anymore. Not like super old or anything, but I'm already like well into loving movies and stuff. And fucking, he tells us it's Last Tango in Paris, and he's telling us all about the movie and everything and describing all of these scenes. And then he talks about he's like, there's this one really weird scene though, and he tells us about the Brando getting the stick of butter in his ass thing. And then I remember I went home that day and looked it up online and fucking like saw that it was like a legitimate movie, not a porno, and that it had Marlon Brando in it, and like went into school the next day. We just all made fun of this kid.
Superman's dad?
Yeah, right. I didn't end up seeing the movie for years, but years later I like put it on one time because it was like, I've heard this is like a legitimate movie. It's basically like a softcore porno with Marlon Brando being a weirdo. But that was like a hilarious, that was my first like kid porno experience where people, that like Ryan was saying, where they're like everybody in school's talking about it. Like the word of mouth treatment was Brando getting a stick of butter in his ass. It's like, dude, if this is what you think porno is, maybe don't look it up.
He's like, and dudes, it was really hot.
Right? Gotta say, I went and grabbed me a stick of butter.
It works with frozen butter too.
Right? That scene would have been a whole lot messier if he just threw it in the freezer for 10 minutes.
Then the night he loses his virginity, he like brings out the stick of butter. She's like, "What the fuck is that for?"
Right? Oh, you've never seen.
Oh wait, all you have is margarine?
It isn't right.
This is gonna be perfect.
Everything's off.
Well, did you hear that Marlon Brando had sex with Richard Pryor?
Oh yeah, that's right. He was didn't like a couple people.
Yeah.
That night?
I got around.
Yeah, right. Was that the same night that like Bowie and everybody fucked?
I was waiting for the punchline on that one. Like, they really did?
Well, Bowie fucked Mick Jagger.
Well,
Yeah,
no, I
they're
knew
like,
that. I saw the video. You can tell from the video, the music video together. You can just tell that.
Yeah, dancing in the
yeah,
streets.
they got
Yeah.
butt fucking chemistry.
Yeah, as a kid, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I think I know what's going on.
I remember showing that. I had a sleepover, and my friends. I was like, "Oh, hey, look, this is David Bowie." 'Cause I love David Bowie, and it was that video, and they were like, "These guys are gay." Like,
Yeah,
no, they're not.
you
They're
didn't
cool.
realize the vibes you were throwing out to your friends at your sleepover.
Yeah, I'm like dancing with them. Like, this is cool, guys. Come on.
Come and grind with me.
Get your ass into it. Come on.
Quit
You're
being
doing
gay
it right.
about it.
Yeah,
God.
my dad didn't like that, which is funny. My dad gave me his Culture Club album and then didn't like how much I liked Culture Club. Like, I was drawing pictures of Boy George and stuff, and he was like, I don't know about that.
She's pretty, Dad.
George is such a weird name for a girl.
You know what? I was so young, it probably wasn't. I probably didn't even think about it.
There we go.
You know, it was. I probably wasn't even registering boy or girl or whatever.
That's
I was
probably
just like
not.
singing along.
We're gonna kill Jeff's screen for a second.
That's
We'll
cool.
go back to what is it? Oh, there we go. We'll just make me big real quick.
Do it up.
Spike hand.
I can't see your screen's not big though.
Oh,
Still on mine.
I'm not the only guy.
Mm-mm.
Wait,
I don't
for
know
me
how
it is.
many- Yeah, I think it's just because you're screen sharing.
Oh, here. Let me do
Still.
that. Is that better? There we go.
I turned it to 3. Look at me.
Nice.
I'm a StreamYard virgin.
No more.
I'm learning.
Just like Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Brando stuffed butter in my ass, and now I'm a star.
I heard everyone streamed with Richard Pryor.
That's a surefire way to get a copyright strike instantly. We got Richard Pryor on tonight. Or not a copyright strike, just like a fucking strike.
I did an interview with Jack Kirby on my channel.
Yeah, but Jack Kirby wasn't known to be like slinging N-words and all sorts of crazy
Oh.
shit.
Well, you didn't hear our interview.
It was towards the end. He was getting real intense. Oh, I have to color this now, but I'm like afraid to.
Well, here, just my tip for that is don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Whatever you do, just don't mess it up.
Actually, I'm gonna wait on it for now. I'll do that later.
I love that Institute 91 said fellers.
Yeah,
Now I'm just going to envision that he talks like Butters.
he's a true Southern man. Southern boy.
Where's he from?
He's from Kentucky. I almost said Tennessee.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He's not that far away from you, and if he can somehow get us in contact with that fucking summer camp, dude. Woo!
Yeah. That'd be pretty badass.
And it's a fucking like trap shooting camp. It's like they have a gun expert on hand. I'm like, this is like fucking somebody's watching over me and listening in on everything I'm doing. Like, I want to be able to shoot guns. I need to be able to.
Wait, is there nowhere? Are you? I was out of the loop on the conversation. Are you just looking for a place to target shoot?
No, for the short film, like it was like, the one thing we won't be able to do is fire off blanks or anything because you need to hire a weapon expert on hand. And in Connecticut, that would mean I'd have to apply for the permits and everything. And I don't want to do that. I want it to be very guerrilla. So if we could get this camp, potentially, they just have a weapon safety expert at the camp at all times. Like it's part of their staff. So I don't need to hire someone and I don't need to apply for the permits if we're shooting at that location. I'd just be like, hey, weapon guy, can I pay you, strange southern man who's already the weapon guy here on top of what you're already paying to do what you're already doing while we fire off some blanks?
He's like, you guys need any dead bodies too?
Yeah, right? That's basically how Institute made it sound. He's like, if you throw guys like $50-$100 down here, you can pretty much get like anything you need. He's like, I can take you to this old warehouse where they shot this like zombie movie. It's all full of beat up mannequins and shit. I was like, yes. I am gonna run and grab another whiskey and take a piss really quick. I will leave this going and be right back, guys.
All right.
Sounds good to me. I'm getting my
Oh yeah,
chopped chicken sandwich ready.
You can share your screen again too if you want, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just you
Look at my head.
vigorously looking back and forth at something that no one can see.
I was cooking, so I had to realize that's what he was doing.
Yeah, you look like you're nervously defusing a bomb.
The blue one, Geoff. The blue one.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull that footage sometime this week and just edit in like the 24 beep noises.
And then just show an explosion at the end. Like, oh.
Yeah. Just cut in tons of footage of like Pete's streaming stuff, make it look like Pete's talking to you. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Cool.
Are you done drawing?
No, I'm drawing. I shared it. I don't know if. I don't know. Maybe it didn't go through.
StreamYard within a StreamYard within a StreamYard.
What the hell?
Streamception. Whoa, and now he's gone, folks. I have successfully taken over the City of Rot live stream. I am the creator of Hammerella. I should totally be just pimping my own book right now while they're gone. My name is Ryan Wynn. I'm the creator of Hammerella. You can go to ryanwynn.com for all things related. You can get to my YouTube channel there. You can get to the Hammerella email crowdfunder from there. You can get to Gods of Gears info from there. We're having some technical difficulties, I guess. Spencer went to use the restroom and get himself another whiskey. And Geoff, well, who knows? Hopefully Geoff wasn't swatted or anything like that. But he was trying to share his screen, and now he's gone. I don't even know if there's anybody watching right now. But we're gonna keep it going until one of them gets back. Alright, so this is going to be pretty funny when Spencer gets back. I should totally continue just promoting my own project. Alright, yeah, so anyone that does happen to still be watching, you can back City of Rot. They are live right now. I think they're like 30%. They're over on Indiegogo. Spencer is the writer, and Geoff Elkins is the artist. And it's a black and white 48-page book about a biker who is turned on by his biker club. And when he goes out to seek revenge for them, it happens to be the same day that the zombie outbreak has happened. So it's full-on mayhem in the City of Rot. So I'm sure they have a link below in the description. Go ahead and check that out. I happen to be making my chopped chicken sandwich while we are streaming. So this is the continued Ryan Wynn takeover of the city of Rot stream. It's a Labor Day late night sketching stream without Geoff. Don't be fooled by the title. It says with Geoff, don't be fooled. We kicked Geoff, and I have successfully taken over the stream. But it looks like Spencer has popped into the chat, and he's going to come back and try to take his show back over any minute. So the battle will ensue after that. And other projects that are coming up in the next week or so, there's the Alterna Back to the Presses Indiegogo. It's going to be really awesome. There's going to be some fun collector case stuff in there. And we are going to get second prints going back to the presses on a bunch of first issues and books that are out of stock. And I only have a few issues of Gods and Gears #1 left in some sets to sell. I don't have single issues anymore. But come January, we're going to have second prints. We had no idea that the first prints were going to sell out that quickly. This year's been very surprising. Okay, and now I think Spencer's just listening. I think he's there. I think he's just listening and letting me handle the show. He thinks I'm sweating. I ain't sweating. I'm fine with the takeover. This is my goal when I get on people's streams, is to take over the show. Oh, looks like Geoff's trying to come back in.
Yeah, because you dosed me. You already should.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All your fault.
I am the king of mayhem.
I was trying to fix the stream, and then I accidentally took myself out.
That was super funny, though. So I just took it as like I took over. I've taken control of the show.
Yeah, I was hoping you keep going and just promote Hammerella nonstop.
If I wasn't busy cooking, it would have been so. I could have handled it so much better. It would have been pretty funny because I was like, damn, because I had all these ideas. I'm like, oh, I could do this. I'm like, no, I'm putting a sandwich together. I got all this stuff on my hands. Can't do it legit.
I was like, oh no.
But that was pretty funny. I do like the idea of. I wish there was some way that actually you could like take over people's show like that. You're like, aha, we did it! Took over the show. Felt like a real pirate for a second, you know.
Did you finish your meal?
No, I just now got the sandwich put together.
Mm.
I forgot to toast my bread while the meat was cooking. So unprofessional. All right, are you gonna share your screen? Because I was gonna ask you a little about. Whoa, sorry about that noise. About your process.
Yeah, I can. Well, I can't because Spencer has to. I think he has to share it the full screen.
I was gone 2 minutes.
Not even. What I'm doing here, guys.
2 seconds and Geoff closes out. I was like, wait, did I not say I was coming back?
Like, peace out, bitch.
Right, I just walk away from the stream and Geoff leaves too.
Who let the inker take over?
This is Ryan's stream now. I was dying laughing. I'm like walking to the bathroom. Beth ended up being in the bathroom. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I pull out my phone. I was like, I'll just pull the stream up just in case anything goes wrong. And Geoff just disappears instantly. I was like, God damn it. There you go, buddy. Your screen shared again. But right now it's just StreamYard over and over again.
Is it really again? I don't know why it's doing it.
Yeah, I got 5 new sign-ups while you guys were off your own show. That was awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. It's like I need to like make a text file on the desktop of this. And there you go.
That worked.
Put like everybody's links and stuff in it because you have to basically copy and paste it into the description every time you launch StreamYard. But if I do that, I can throw Hammerella in it, and I need to throw Rob's Wirehead in the Alterna one. Not that the Alterna one needs my help. We had like 150 signups on almost on the City of Rot one by the end of all of it.
Nice.
Pete's got like fucking almost 500, and it's been up for like a couple of weeks, I think. Killing it.
Yeah,
with
that
the
one's gonna do.
Alterna stuff.
It's gonna do bonkers. The back to the
Yeah.
presses one.
Pete looks so intense with his glasses and his beanie, and then he talks. And you're like, oh, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah,
It really
He's-
is.
just like the nicest dude. It's hilarious. I need to do a spawn.
Is that a Spawn sketch cover?
Yes, sir. A Spawn 300.
You charge an extra for that?
Fuck no. I'm not even charging for it.
I thought those were going for like $20. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they're going for a lot of money. I have a couple of them.
I think I got a couple left too.
I'm doing this one for Institute though.
Oh, right on. So Geoff, you're in the Clip Studio, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm doing my digital pencils in.
And what are you working on, if you don't mind me asking? By that I mean like tablet or Cintiq.
Yeah, I'm using an Intuos tablet. I don't really like drawing on screens. I've tried it on a few different, surfaces and stuff, and I just something about it, I don't know, it just never really clicked for me. So I like using the tablet.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, the slate, whatever you call it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
looking up at your screen, but your hand's down below drawing.
Right. Exactly.
That regular graphics tablet setup.
Yeah, I'm okay like that. I've been doing Photoshop like that for a while, but I've done very little digital inks that way. I've only done them on my tablet.
Mm-hmm.
But
So I'm horrible with that shit.
yeah, it's just like different types of pencils it's that different tool for different people. Like David Barron, the colorist, he still uses a mouse. And
oh my God.
if you look at his work, it's as modern and he is as technically proficient as anyone. I mean, he came up with Alex Sinclair, so he was on the forefront of digital coloring. So he's amazing, but he uses a mouse. Same with
Baron was using a mouse. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and yeah, he's got the simplest setup. He might have moved on. You know what? He may, in the last couple of years, have moved on to like a bamboo tablet.
Yeah, really stepping his game up.
But doesn't color on screen or anything. And I don't know. He's as good a colorist or a painter as anyone out there.
I feel like now that I have the iPad pencil set up for like a year or two now, it's just like going back to anything else would be fucking insane to me. Like, I'm so comfortable with the iPad and pencil.
Yeah, me too.
I don't even have I need to get a paper-like screen. I just keep like putting it off for whatever reason.
Were you using Procreate on that or what?
Yeah, for the most part, but that's why I was like, I'm gonna check out Clip Studio now if I'm gonna be doing a full fucking comic. It's like I've had so many people recommend it to me. They were like, it saves a lot of time and all this other shit, and I was like, we'll see. It's like,
Yeah,
honestly,
my only problem with go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, honestly, the biggest thing for me would be the being able to just like rapidly do different layouts and try different shit is pretty cool. Just like the frame tool, you can throw together a bunch of different shit really quickly and be like, oh, I don't like this, and tweak it fairly quickly and everything. But I pretty much already do that in Procreate. Sorry to cut you off there, Ryan.
No problem, man. That's your show. I stole the show for a while. Literally stole the show for a while, so it's
Perfect.
quite all right. No, my only problem with Clip Studio, and I don't know that it would even apply to the way Geoff works, but my problem was it couldn't keep up with my workflow. So when I wanted to spin the screen spins really slow, like rotates really slow, and I could not take it. Where I mean, seriously, all the tools and the setup that they have for actually making comics and manga is incredible. But that one aspect was like enough where I haven't used it in maybe a year.
Yeah.
But I also haven't done, like, I would probably use it like I said, for formatting the pages and stuff like that, because you can't quite do panels, not quite, can't do panels the same at all in Procreate.
Yeah, no, that's like the one weird thing is that there's nothing really good for it. And everybody's just like, you just use the straight line tool and do a bunch of erasing and shit. I'm like, it still doesn't ever look good. Like, it's great for like once you're into the illustration and everything, like it's fucking great. I love Procreate because it's just like all of the agency is in the user, like, but the fact that it doesn't really have any specific tools, like, and then you use something like Clip Studio and it's like, holy shit, I didn't know one of my cats was in here. He just fucking jumped down behind me and scared the shit out of me. What are you doing, Pickle?
Yeah, I've never used
I'm
Procreate.
gonna mute while I eat. Go ahead, Geoff.
Yeah, I never used Procreate. I always wanted to try it. I tried Sketchbook Pro. I like that a lot, but I still didn't have like all the options that I was looking for. And then like after trying Clip Studio, I tried going back to Photoshop just for a few things, and it felt like such a huge step back that I could never even give it a shot after that.
Well, that's what, like, Clip Studio just feels like a stripped down version of Photoshop. Like, they were like, all right, we're going to do Photoshop for illustrators and get rid of all this bullshit, which I think is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't stand the name of either one. Like, I hate the name Procreate. Like, I hate telling people that don't know about it. I'm like, oh, I do this in a program called Procreate. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
They look at you like, what? And you're like,
I jizz
yeah,
all
I
over
know,
my
it's a stupid name. And Clip Studio is weird, too, because it sounds like an app on your phone that your kid uses to make a movie or something. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't like either name for either product.
And it used to be called Manga Studio, and it just
That was
sounds
way
like
better.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, they both kind of suck.
At least you know what it's doing.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. At least you knew what it was. Like, when someone said
Yeah.
they did something in Manga Studio the first time, I was like, oh, is that a digital art program for making manga? Like, but Procreate, I was like, what? You called your thing Procreate?
I was hearing about that for so long, and I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Meanwhile, it's made by a company called Savage. You're like, come on, call your thing like Savage or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Savage Illustrator system, whatever. Like, it's not like Procreate. So dumb.
Here's Brutal from Savage.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm just excited for more animation features that seem to be coming soon.
Yeah, me too, because people keep asking me to do animation stuff that I can't do with it. And it's simple stuff. Like, people are like, oh, I want to do this thing where the screen slides across. And I'm like, yeah, but in Procreate, I have to, like, because I don't have any, I have After Effects now, but I haven't figured out how to use it. But, like,
oh my God, dude, I love it.
In Procreate, I can't do that. You have to literally slide it frame by frame.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
Let me know if I can help you out with anything in fucking After Effects. I've been going nuts with it.
Yeah, for sure.
That was my issue, though, was like you remember I was hitting you up like crazy. I was so excited for that Procreate update, and then it came out, and it was like, this is like, oh yeah, it can do animation now in like the most basic form of animation you can think of, but it's so fucking tedious to actually get anything done in it. Like, you're basically still just doing like hand-drawn animation. Like, you pretty much have to draw like every frame.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a 2D animation. I don't know, upgrade.
Man, I used to draw Spawn like every fucking day in my school notebooks, and now I'm like, how the fuck do I do this guy's face?
Fucked
I
up.
can never.
That's how you do
I
it.
could never. Yeah, really fucked up. I can never get it right without looking, and I worked on the damn book for like 5 years. Backdoor
What's your
brag.
favorite?
Right?
What's your favorite book you worked on?
Gods and Gears,
Um,
duh.
Yeah, aside. I mean, I was assuming aside from my own creation. Divinity Volume 1.
Mm.
That or some of the darkness stuff. There's a couple darkness issues that we really put our all into, and we were young and gung ho, and they. I don't know. I was looking at it. I found them the other day because I'm collecting them for a collector, and I was like, "Damn, we really kicking butt on this stuff, man."
Man, comics used to be cool.
Yeah, no, it was actually kind of a bummer. Like I was looking through and collecting all these things, and like it used to be like inking used to be so competitive. Like I thought by this era or like by 2020, I was like, like inking is going to be so at such a high level. Like
We're gonna be
it's going to
killing
be
each other
incredible.
in the streets.
Yeah, for the secrets. And no, man, it's just dropping across the boards, and people are just kind of okay with sloppy inks. And by sloppy inks, I don't mean loose lines. I mean a sloppy application of the craft.
Fun. Not
So
giving a fuck.
when you saw like the digital inking where they just take the pencils and darken them in Photoshop, like did you just puke?
Oh yeah, that was like, especially at the time I was, it was like 10 years or a little longer ago. So I was a little more, I had a little more fire in my belly and was a little louder and angrier about things. So when you see that, you basically, like the way I responded to it, I was like talking to an editor and I was like, why are you showing me how I'm useless? Like this looks like crap, but you think it's fine, and you're showing me why am I involved in this conversation even if I'm not
Yeah.
going to be involved in the project?
Check
Why are
out
you
this
trying to,
robot that's gonna replace you.
Yeah. On that note, it was really funny years ago, before all that started, John Levsey, who just goes by Levsey, just goes by his last name. Somebody had started a rumor that he was an inking program, and it even made it into some interview with Finch where he had inked Finch, and they asked David Finch about uh, being on the forefront of using digital inking programs like the Levsey program. So that was really funny. Never got mentioned in an interview, but then when they did, they were like, "He's a robot, right?"
That's amazing. I'm not real.
Yeah, so they tried to do the straight to pencil thing. There was a phase for a while, and um, thankfully, the biggest pushback came from the pencilers and the fans. Readers hated it, and pencilers were like, "This doesn't make my work look the best."
Yeah.
You know. And Top Cow, I was at Top Cow when that was kind of starting, and we had a deal with Marvel that we were doing, and they were trying to get them. Marvel was trying to get them not to use inkers, so that the project would cost less, and it was awesome. Sylvester was just kind of like, yeah, that's not how it's done.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, like the you don't just cut out one of the main ingredients of a thing and then tell people it's the thing still. I always like that. I always like that approach of it, you know, where it's like, you don't take the sauce off the pizza and tell me it's pizza. Like,
Yeah.
that's motherfucking cheese bread.
Yeah, I remember like the only comic I actually liked that did it was Conan with Carrie Nord because it kind of fit with like this. I don't know, like almost kind of like ancient manuscripts or something. But every other comic I saw, it would just look atrocious. Especially like uh, it was Salvador LaRocca, you know, who has this really great style, and then it just looked like it was like grayed out. You know, like the colors directly over it, it just looked like someone had messed up in the print, and you were getting this like really shitty version that wasn't supposed to be released.
That's always fun.
Yeah, his stuff was really weird. So I was at Danny Mickey's studio when he was doing X-Men, and we were doing backgrounds on that. And his work, like, it was so tight in pencil that it seemed like he was the obvious candidate for that. And it also did seem like we were wasting our time inking him, which it still needed it, but it felt like a waste of time in that, like, you were literally taking, it's more stressful to trace an exact line than to interpret a line and give it some nice bounce or weight. So his stuff was so tedious that it was like, I don't know, a bunch of us, we were kind of like, yeah, if you're going to do anyone, do that, send that guy to straight to from pencils. And then it still didn't work. I think nowadays they could probably get it to work because we have a better understanding of levels and adjustments and stuff like that than we did then. Because none of that stuff, you got to remember, none of this stuff is designed until Clip Studio and Procreate. None of this was designed for comic book makers.
Yeah.
Everything, like Alex Sinclair and Brian Haberlin had to go into Photoshop and basically crack it open and figure out how to make this a thing that will be used for the future. And they basically invented digital coloring as we know it. So I don't know where I'm rambling with that now.
Thank God for those dudes.
Heck yeah. I totally lost my track there. Sorry.
Oh, dude, that's like the theme of our show. Welcome to the party.
I thought it was informative and educational.
I especially like the part where you trailed off at the end. That's my whole brand, not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I did that on one of my inking videos recently, and man, it was seriously the like 19-year-old stoner moment. I was like talking about something, and I looked over, and my brain went, you know, hey, don't smudge that one spot. And then when I went back to the spot I was working on to continue my discussion, I wasn't there anymore. I was completely gone. So, yeah, right in the middle of the video, I'm like, all right, sorry, everybody, I have no idea what I was going to say. And then it was like 5 minutes later, just popped back up out of nowhere. I was like, oh yeah. So you can actually hear me in the video. I'm like, oh, I remember.
Stricken with the Alzheimer's.
In my day, inking was done by a robot. Yeah, I didn't even like digital inking until a couple of years ago. And then once I got into Procreate and I was playing with their iPad pencil, I liked it enough that I could get effects that looked real, or looked like traditional inks.
Yeah.
It took them so long to be able to get the pens to work right.
Oh, yeah. So much wonky shit.
Yeah, and like the inconsistency of lines, like if you're trying to do like a nice row of bleeds, you could always tell somebody's wonky digital lines that have that weird taper that's like a straight line and just a little taper at the end. You're like, come on, get that out of here. And that's the kind of stuff, like inking like that would not have been tolerated from editors or other artists 10, 15 years ago. And then somewhere around 5, 6 years ago, as older, more knowledgeable editors, like, basically all fled. You've only got a handful of editors that still kind of understand the craft and what makes it good, and most importantly, how to pair up a good penciler and an inker.
Yeah, that seems like a lost art now.
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to do too. Even someone with my experience, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tear it up on this guy's pencils, and then I have no connection to them once they're there in front of me, and I'm like, oh shit, I thought this was gonna be great, and it's the worst. Sometimes it takes a whole issue to figure it out, and I think that's a lot of reason why we see pencilers just go ahead and ink in themselves these days, which
Yeah,
I fully encourage.
like I've been talking to Jason Johnson about doing something with him in the Ransom books eventually, but he said he basically needs an inker. And that's like one of the biggest things where I'm like fucking unsure. What's up, Razmaz? Sorry, we kind of zoned out in the conversation. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't just slap like any inker with him and be like, perfect. I kind of need to figure out what the hell's going to work best, and I'm probably going to end up having to try people out.
Well, he's someone you could get me to ink for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a very, very short list of people that, like, I mean, other than, like, you're my friend, so sometimes I ink you. That's just us being friends. But, like, as far as just other pros out there, there's very few pencilers that I even want to take the time to ink. He's definitely one. But he is also one of those ones I'm like, oh no, I'd have to charge a pretty page rate for him.
Yeah. That's the whole
and
thing.
then
That book would be a fucking beast on my wallet.
Yeah, and then the other recommendation I have for that would be Joe Weems to ink him. And with that, you have to do a crowdfunder just to get the inking page rate to get Joe Weems to do the thing. I think he's at 300 or 400 for a page rate now. So like that alone, just for the inker, he'd probably more than the pencils would cost.
Yeah. Weems can suck my dick.
I know, he's one of those, go ahead.
I'd rather spend that money on me learning how to ink at that point.
Yeah, but then if you had the money and you paid him, it would be
it'd be the dopest book in the world.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I'm
like when you see his his stuff over Dale Keown compared to anyone else, and you're just
That's the only reason I'm ever like, movie deal stuff makes sense, man. You sell that shit off and then just keep making other comics and you make better shit. Because then me and Geoff can do another book and we can get guys like that to do a crazy fucking cover for it.
Yep.
It's like, I don't need a whole book at that point. I just need some cool shit from the guys I grew up loving. Fucking Joe Weems and fucking Bat back in the day. Like anytime I saw Bat's signature, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucking dope.
Dude, they're like the Michael Jordan and the Scottie Pippen of inkers.
Yeah. It's insane. What's his name does really good of inking himself too. I guess it's Holtz, Kyle Holtz.
Oh yeah, is it Holtz, not Hotz?
Yeah, I thought it was Hotz, and Frege is pretty good friends with him and said it's Holtz.
That's one of those 30 years bubbles in my brain. For 30 years, I've been saying Hotz.
Yep.
Well, same thing with Frege. It's like I was always calling him Fraga.
Yep.
Forever.
People that know him have been calling him Fraga forever.
Yeah, that's the most hilarious thing. Like, I met him once, and he was like, "It's actually Frege, dude." And after he corrected me, I was like, "Perfect, never fucked it up again." But like, hanging out with him at cons, it is constant.
It's because of the Fraga boom, like it's like Kraka boom.
Yep.
So it's got the hard A feel. So it just, I think even if you're old friends with him, it's just that like it feels natural. Your brain wants to do that aga.
Everybody thinks it's like Lobo. My cats are on either side of my office door right now trying to get to each other. Hang on a second. I need to get up.
Well, then you're just
In and
gonna
out.
open the. Yeah, but he's gonna open the door, and then they're not gonna care anymore. And be like, oh.
Go on, you assholes. Are you coming
So how
in?
tight is the script that you're drawing from, Geoff?
Well, Spencer gives me a lot of freedom. You know, he allows me to like kind of change around. If I want to combine panels or extend the panels, and kind of let the scene breathe a little bit, he allows me to do that. So, it's a nice guideline, like it's kind of Marvel style, I guess.
Okay. So like loose suggestions. Maybe some pages are laid out tighter than others as
Yeah,
far as
like
panel count.
Spencer will give me like a panel count and so all the dialogue and like a little descriptor. And
I'd
then
rather not give a panel count, but
Let
this
that
is
be up to him.
the first book that we've done together. I think I asked you too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted a full script. I'd prefer
see, I'm a
not
little-
to, though.
I'm
Sorry.
a little half and half. I do like that they're. I do think it's good to like establish a language with your artist. So like if like 4 to 6 beats feels good, you kind of like just let him know like that's where I'm at, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Spencer's stuff would be. I don't know. Spencer's pretty flexible, so I feel like he can adjust to however the artist works.
Oh, yeah. That's my whole thing, man. That's the only way my comics work. Every time I send a new Voidwalker issue to Christian, he's like, wow, that changed a lot. I'm like, yeah. He's like, he throws something cool in, adds something in, and then like when like you're working with artists whose like their storytelling is so solid, you realize, oh, I put enough into the script that this guy translated it perfectly, and I don't even need to use the dialogue that I had written here anymore. Like, I can kind of like show another part of the story. It's weird how I do things. It definitely wouldn't work for everybody, but I couldn't imagine like writing a script and being like set in stone with it after years of working like this.
Yeah, I can't do final dialogue. I can come close, and I even like I pace out the emotional stuff in my head. Like if it's a sad moment or any moment, like I'll work out like the idea of what they'll say,
Yeah.
so that we can carry through the emotion. But even by the 4th issue of Gods and Gears, I had to wait until I saw the colored panel. Even though I colored it, I still had to see the colored panel done before I could do the final dialogue, because it always triggered the final like version.
Yeah,
To
you
see
almost
it
have
that
to
way.
approach it like you're a different person.
Yeah.
Like you're the letter getting it in for the first time. I'm the same way, dude. Like that's especially noticeable in the Hellseekers stuff. Like as that gets colored, it comes to life more and more, and I was like, in black. And it's weird because Vince's art is fucking amazing. It looks great in black and white, but for some reason it just was not like, I wasn't able to get into the mode of some of the characters as easily as I can with other stuff. And City of Rot, it's like I got pages back from Geoff. I was able to finish up the letters for all the pages in like one night, in a couple of hours. And it was like a lot of stuff changed, but like it just like flowed out of me. It's like, this makes sense. This is fucking perfect. Like it's hitting the pace we wanted. It's almost going too fast. And then like that's like almost the main conversation me and Geoff are having. And then at one point I was like, oh man, like there's so much story and ridiculous shit we want to pack into it that I was like, I don't know if we can do it in 48 pages. And we worked around it a bit, and there's like a lot of really fun little weird gags that I think haven't really been done in comics. If they have, I haven't come across them before. And we're just sort of trying to have fun and do weird stuff and still tell like a coherent story. We haven't mentioned it anywhere else, but Hunter S. Thompson is a character in the book.
Oh, no way.
To an extent.
Oh, I can bet how he comes in.
He's
in that guy's underwear, huh?
Yeah, right. I haven't been mentioning it on streams because it's like one of my favorite parts of the book, and I wanted it to be a surprise for people. But he's essentially like a guide on Hank's trip for revenge, but it's quite literally like an acid trip, and he's like a mental Sherpa. He doesn't actually exist. He's sort of like
Ganjo guide through this trippy action, man. The weird voice, I can hear it.
Exactly. Just screaming at Hank at all times, and there's like a couple really fun gags early on, and I'm like, like you were saying, I essentially hit on the dialogue in it to give Geoff enough of an idea of like the vibe of the character and the tones of the scene and the beats and panels per page and everything. But like almost immediately after I sent it to him, I was like, I'm gonna get the paneled versions of these pages back, and I get to write like the final pass of this, and I'm already so excited for it. Like, one of them is fucking absolutely ridiculous, and I don't want to ruin it at all, but like essentially his second scene in the book is fucking like one of my favorite things I've written. And it's purely sold on like Geoff, like it's almost nothing work wise for me, but like I'm just like excited to see it come together. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Knowledgeable giggle he had there. So
Yeah,
I'm just now seeing the time. I gotta go in a minute, guys. Go ahead, Geoff.
Cool. I was saying I get the pages from Spencer, and it's either like, oh shit, or it's just hysterical laughter.
That's kind of like his DMs.
Yeah.
I got my spawn going. Oh yeah, we should probably kill it soon too. It's 2 out here for me and Geoff.
Yeah, I'm starting to wind down.
Yeah, not fucking run you into the ground. We have a whole book to make.
You still gotta dose me.
Yeah, right? Hey man, we might get the book done faster if we're doing PC.
Just one night, it's all done.
I don't know what it is, man. I feel fucking invincible.
I painted it in oil paint.
In one panel. It's all the whole story in one panel, man.
That's cocaine.
And that's the story for another time.
Right. Next stream. Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Hey, thanks for having me
Thanks
on,
for
guys.
coming on, guys.
Thanks for coming on, man. It was nice meeting you.
Oh yeah, it's our first time meeting. I've seen you so many times, and I've been on the chat, but yeah, dude, nice meeting you for sure.
Yeah, nice finally meeting you to be able to talk to you and everything. This is awesome.
Right, I always just blur that shit together because I'm always watching streams and stuff while I work. I'm like, I feel like I know all these people, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't actually talked to these guys. Like,
I always spoil your stuff. When you're not on streams, I'm like, oh yeah, Spencer's doing this or this, and I'm like, wait, I don't think I'm supposed to say that.
Hell yeah!
I forgot we're live.
Dude, you know how hard it is to not show the Camp Rainbow teaser like constantly? Like,
oh, I know.
And I did that just for fun, like one day, because it's like I need to learn these few things in After Effects, and I might as well, if I'm going to do it, if I can manage to learn it successfully, I should try and do something that I could potentially use. And I did that, and it worked out. And I was like, God damn, this worked way too good. Like, I keep watching it. I want to put it out, but that's sort of... I'm going to slowly keep building stuff as me and Geoff are working on City of Rot, and eventually we're going to just have a good catalog ready to go. We're not going to do the Allegiance Arts way of launching an imprint, but...
Did you read that article?
I read like the first 2 paragraphs. I was going to go back and read it after this, honestly, but
I read it and it was weird. The writer just goes off on a tangent on Trump for some reason.
yeah, I heard it's really just like a hit piece.
Yeah, it's so bizarre because like originally when I heard about it, I was like, oh, Mitch and them must have said some really nasty things, but it's actually the author that's going off on a tangent.
Yeah.
And, like I mean, not saying anything about Mitch or them or not, but it was just weird. It was like this has nothing to do with comics. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I think they bit off more than they can chew and kind of like went in with too big of a grand picture, sort of big scope idea. What we're trying to do is like very small, like almost like a limited edition horror imprint where we're just going to be doing some fun fucking one shots outside of the Ransomverse stuff. And then we still got a Ransomverse book we're going to do eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That's already got a fucking awesome pitch package. I don't know if I showed you those pages, Ryan, but I can send you those soon.
Do it to it, man.
Yeah, I should just letter those up to have to show off. Get people hyped for that, because that's inevitably just going to be probably a backup story in a Hellseekers. Me and Geoff talked about it a little bit, but Pete is like essentially gunning for Geoff to be like a backup artist on Hellseekers, because then we could do like maybe like 4 to 6 issues with Vince a year, and then like 2 with Geoff, and slowly keep bulking up the Ransomverse lineup and everything.
Sweet.
It's going to get really confusing eventually when I have to fucking split up all these royalty checks to a bunch of different people and make sense of everything. But,
just make sure you consistently lie to all of them across the board.
Yeah.
So that your lies are consistent and they don't know
everybody
all the truth.
made $1.
Exactly.
You can just pay me in PCP.
Yeah, you get a quarter. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna dose you to get you hooked on it.
Give me a taste.
Everybody gets one. And for the 5 people watching, a little very faint spawn for the night with nothing down in the cape, and I made him super like 90s guy bulky.
Can you make it full screen?
That's really bulky shoulders if you're paying attention, but it's because I was like, I'm gonna draw his arms in there at the bottom. Probably
Can you make
tomorrow.
it more soft focus?
Yeah, right. I don't know what it is with my camera on this. This is just like the built-in one on the laptop too. It's like grainy as hell.
You have it set to 1950 Starlet.
Yeah, right. all that empty space in there. I'm thinking I'm gonna do. I'm like pointing 2 of them big '90s guns with like bullet belt coming off of it or something.
There you go.
Nice.
And again, I pencil so bullshit and next to no detail. So like once this gets inked, there'll be a lot more going on. Peter and Rob Geronimo were like, what the fuck? The other day when I was on the stream with them, they looked so confused because I do like an underpainting with my watercolors and then ink over it.
Oh yeah.
But it works for me for some reason, and it can, since my hands are all fucked up now, like it kind of lets me cover up a lot of the mess.
It's a fun way to work, to block in the shape first.
Look how tiny I look on here. I look like I'm 4 feet tall.
Yeah, you do.
I have to put my drawing table like so low to the ground just to get my like legs and back at like a right angle, so I'm not completely fucked at all times.
I'd like if you just lied about your height all this time. You're telling everybody you're 6 feet, and then you just walk off camera and you're still the same height.
I'm like Gimli. See you later, guys. I just have really long arms. I can walk on my hands. Yeah, it was a good time, guys. Thanks for coming on. Guys, anybody watching this still? It says we got 5 people in here, which is insanity. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Good morning. And I need to get some sleep.
Yep.
Go back City of Rot if you haven't already. Go sign up for that sweet Hammerella.
Thank you.
I keep wanting to say newsletter, but the pre-launch newsletter.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe it. Sign up for the Alterna pre-launch newsletter and the Wirehead pre-launch newsletter. Check out Clint's Fat L. It's that book looks fucking awesome. I keep calling
Fat
it
L.
Fat L. It makes me think of smoking blunts when I was a teenager.
Check
Yo.
out Goofish.
Yo, bro, you want to smoke a Fat L? Yeah, dude, Goofish blew my mind tonight. I was the perfect amount of drunk when that came on.
Check out Institute 91.
Yeah,
Great music.
check out Institute 91. That is our dude. Another reason I hope City of Rot just kicks absolute ass. Like I'll work my day job forever if I have to, but if it means fucking Geoff can slowly transition into
Of course.
And it appears I have the main screen again. I have taken over the show once again at the end.
Hey, it
That
wasn't me
is
this
how
time.
a true professional does it, folks.
Mayhem.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I have brought the mayhem to the City of Rot. I took over the show in the middle. I took it over at the end. Should we just sign off, or do we have to have Spencer?
I think we can sign off, and I'll just message him, and hopefully it'll work.
I fell out of character big time there, but had to figure out what we're doing.
I like that. I did
That's
it, and
amazing.
then all right, yes, you're back.
my browser crashed. That's fucking hysterical. What a great way to end the night.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I'll join you next time or anytime this week when I'm free. I'd love to join in again.
Hell yeah, man! Anytime. This is a great time. Check all that stuff out, guys. Take it easy.
Good night, guys.